Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the Theosophical Society of chapter 2, that is subtopic E. Theosophical Society. This society also comes under one of the socio-religious movements of that time during the British rule. Okay, and this society was international. You can see till today in our classes we have studied in chapter 2 we have studied about the socio-religious movements. In those movements, those societies, those samaj are founded or established by indian okay Indian people like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Vivekananda, Dayanand Saraswati. Okay, but here in terms of Theosophical Society, things are a little bit different. Okay, first of all, the name itself we can see Theosophical Society. It was an international society. Okay, it was an international society, and it was originally founded in New York and during the year 1875, and its branch was opened in India in 1885. So it was an international society, but this society also worked for the upliftment of the society. Okay, upliftment of people in a society. Okay, so what in Madras it was opened, a branch of the Theosophical Society was opened in Madras. Okay, at the place called Adyar. So what how this society become a great important force in the entire Indian society, how it contributed to the entire Indian society. Okay, how it contributed to the upliftment of the people from all social evils, we will see here. So first of all, the most important person who was associated with the Theosophical Society was Mrs. Annie Besant. Okay, she was not Indian, she was an Irish lady. Okay, she came to India, settled in India in 1893. Okay, so she was very important to Theosophical Society. Why? Because this activities of the Theosophical Society was most importantly popularized by Annie Besant. Okay, she was an Irish lady, not Indian. So how this non-Indian organization or society work for Indian society, we will have to see these things here. Annie Besant was a little bit different. Okay, although she was not Indian, but she was such a person who thought for the Indian people. Okay, she wanted to she wanted that the Indians, the young Indians, okay, they should be gaining some self confidence, self respect and all. Okay, and India, she knew that India had a pride past, a glorious past, and she wanted that Indians should know about their past and try to gain or develop some self respect. Understood? She also studied the Indians' history broadly. She knew that Indians had a great philosophy. Okay, and through this society, Theosophical Society, Annie Besant also wanted that Indians, okay, people of India during that time, they should recognize or they should try to understand how much rich the Indian philosophy was. Okay, so Indian culture, Indian heritage, how rich they were. That means how rich the Indians were, they should know about it. So that, because if we know that, suppose, just imagine that we are in a condition where we are as living as slaves or living as laborers under some foreign ruler. Okay, but we did not know that we have a very rich past. We were very rich before coming of the British, or in ancient civilization. We Indians have philosophies, scientific discoveries of our own. Okay, as we had development in mathematics, astronomy. Okay, ancient civilization, I'm telling about that. But the thing is that the Indians during that time, during the time of British, they did not know that richness about their past. Okay, so they did not know about their past. They always thought that they are poor people, and that is why British came here. British are ruling upon us. We are bound to be ruled by others. This kind of things thinking prevailed. But those who are knowledgeable persons, those who are educated persons, they wanted that Indians should know the richness of the past. Only this education, if it was given to these Indians, then only they will realize that India was a rich and very um, rich in civilization. Then only they can gain this or develop this self-respect and self-consciousness, or self dependency. Okay, confidence. So this is very important. Knowing about the past is very important. If we know about the past that we were very rich, then we won't be able to consider that this our present, that we are being ruled by someone else. Understood? So this is very important. That is why most of the societies, so, religious movements, socio religious movements, they they tried this thing that Indians should be educated mainly about their past, how rich they were. Okay, in most of the topics, I think you have noticed this thing was taken into great concern. This part was taken into great concern. Okay, and as a social reformer, Annie Besant was conscious about the condition of the Indians. Okay, that they have lost faith upon themselves. Okay, that Indians during that time, then they did not believe that they were so much rich because they did not knew about this. Okay, and one more thing, there was an inferiority complex. Inferior, that means thinking oneself inferior than others. Okay, you were thinking that you were less than someone else, less capable or less in every aspect. Okay, so to overcome all this, Annie Besant was supporting, or she was promoting the idea of reviving ancient ideals and institutions. Ancient means those ancient Indian civilization, how they lived, those ideals, the institutions during that time. She wanted to revive it so that Indians during the time of Annie Besant, or when she lived in during that contemporary period, so that they again try to overcome this inferiority complex and try to have some faith that they were this much. Indians were at one point of time in ancient times, they were capable enough, they were a very rich civilization. And due to this animation, she started the Central Hindu School in Benares, okay, in 1898. And I think you have heard this name, Banaras Hindu University. Okay, this was the name which ultimately it was named in 1916. That means this Central Hindu School in Banaras became Banaras Hindu University in 1916. So this is very important because it is not an ordinary thing. Okay, being in someone else's country and loving their country and trying to do something for their country is very extraordinary, or this is very special. So this was Annie Besant's personality. She loved India like her motherland. Okay, but she was not born in India, she was not an Indian, but she loved India like her motherland. Okay, she has done so much for the upliftment of the society, for the good of the Indians. Okay, it was because of her works that a new spirit of nationalism grew among the Indians during that time. Okay, because they began to know about the past, they began to study, they began to educate themselves, the Indians. That is why gradually, very slowly, Indians developed the sense of nationalism, a spirit of nationalism, that they are not less than anyone else now. They also have a very rich past, so they are not people like we. The Indians thought that we are not people to be ruled by someone else. We can be our own rulers. Okay, so all these things led in future led to the national movement. Okay, and she has also done for the administration, or you can say the Indian politics. Okay, in 1916, Annie Besant, she started Home Rule League and she spread the message of self-rule among the Indians. This is a very important part, that introducing self-rule, how it helped the growth of nationalism spirit. Self-rule, that means idea of self-rule was very important for the Indians to know what is self-rule, and this message was spread by whom? Annie Besant. So this is very important, and from this time, from this message, based on this message, Indians understood the idea of self-rule. Okay, and in 1917, okay, Indian National Congress INC was presided over by Annie Besant, and the most important thing, she was the first lady president of the INC, Indian National Congress. That means by by every means she has done for the Society of India. Okay, the Society of India, and even for the freedom of India from British rule. It was a great step taken by her. Okay, I introducing or spreading the message of self rule. Understood? So the next is Aligarh movement. There was a college called Aligarh College, and during that time, Indian Muslims, they were also trying to get modern education, develop the idea of nationalism, and it around this Aligarh College. That means based on this Aligarh College, the Indian Muslims, those who were in this college, they started developing this nationalism ideas. Okay, based on their education, modern education that they received. So centering this Aligarh College, this movement became famous as Aligarh movement. Okay, and the most important person who was associated with this Aligarh movement was Sir Syed Ahmed Khan. He was a person who believed in education, who believed that education was the key means, okay, key means to spread awakening. Awakening means what? Suppose I blindly believe in things. Okay, suppose I believe in superstitions. Okay, I have no clue what is science or what is logic. That means I am very dumb about these ideas, new modern ideas. Okay, so once I got education, now I have awakened myself. Okay, now I have awakened to the ideas which is true, which is false. Okay, believe blind faith is very bad idea. So now I am awakened. So through what means I have awakened myself? It was the means of education. Okay, so this belief of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan, that education is a means of awakening, the best means of awakening the society, it really helped the movement during that time. Okay, and therefore he established Science Society. Science, and he have also established English medium school. Okay, he also translated some English books, okay, to Urdu, and in 1875 he established a Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. So basically he has done many things for education of the students of India, education of all the people, so that they know what is true, what is false, what is superstition, what should not be believed without our logical reasoning. All these things he tried to spread. Okay, and this Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, it became a great center of learning Western literature and culture. Okay, during that time, and along with education, Sir Syed Ahmed Khan and the Aligarh College, okay, his ideas, what was the main consciousness that he tried to spread was political consciousness, and among whom, among the Indian Muslims. Okay, political consciousness means about the entire politics that time. Okay, the about the Indian National Congress. So political knowledge was also given by him to the Indian Muslims. So after, so one at one point you can say that Indian National Congress was such a uh, organization, such a body that helped in the development of development or growth of nationalism in India. And on the other hand, you can say next to it was Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. Okay, it also tried to grow nationalism in India, nationalism feeling spirit in India. So in this regard, Theodore Beck was the principal of this Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. He was the main person who helped or who played a great role in opening or in giving Western ideas or Western culture and literature to the Indian Muslims. Okay, so it was not like it was like that, like Hinduism, like every other religion. Okay, all other religions spread positivity. Every other, that means every religion tries to spread positivity, but it is the people, it is we the people who act differently. Okay, who uses the religion differently. Okay, there is nothing bad in any religion, but people of different religion, see, there is good, there is bad in every, there are both sides of a coin. Okay, so people make the things bad. So you can see Muslim community also had some abuses, social abuses. So these social abuses have to be removed from the Muslim society. So this educated class, those who were educated in this Anglo Oriental College, okay, those Muslims, basically Indian Muslims, were given education there. So these Muslims who were educated, now it was their duty to uplift the Indian Muslim community from these social abuses. And this is very important. In 1920, this Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College was raised, or was transformed into Aligarh Muslim University by the British government. That means the status of university was given to this college. So up to here we have studied about basically the socio-religious movements. The socio-religious movements, let us revise it once. What are the main socio-religious movements? One is the movement or the activities done by Raja Ram Mohan Roy and his society called Brahmo Samaj. Next is Arya Samaj. Next, Pratna Samaj, then Ramakrishna Mission, then Theosophical Society, and the Aligarh movement. So what we have studied basically in these socio-religious movements, that these socio-religious movements try to remove the blind faith, okay, and those superstitions which were prevailing in the country among the people of the society, Indian society. Okay, they wanted to bring Western ideas, those who those which were positive or those which were good. Okay, they tried to bring Western education, humanistic ideas. So those religious superstitions, those evils means those bad things which prevails in the society, if those things are not removed, people will be blindly believing that these are good. Like sati system is very inhuman. This is not a humanly behavior. Okay, sati system, that burning the wife of the dead husband, burning the wife of a dead husband along with the dead husband, this is very inhuman practice. But this is superstition. Believing in all these things blindly is superstitions. If all these things are not removed from the society, our society will be in darkness. Okay, so this darkness was tried, first of all, this darkness was tried to remove from the society by this educated leaders, very strong personalities. Okay, they try to do very good task for the society, Indian society. So this is very important. Okay, if the people of India were not educated during that point of time, if such a kind of socio religious movement was not started during that time, maybe people would have believed in this superstition still today. It is not that every kind of superstitions have been removed by these reform movements, but still to some extent or to a great extent, people have stopped themselves from doing all this. Okay, but still there are places, or there are people who still believe in all these things, in this blind superstitious faiths. Okay, but it is our duty, the duty of the educated ones, to educate other people. Okay, this is the basic, this is the reason behind why we must be educated. Okay, we are getting education from a school or from a college. This does not mean we are getting our degree and it is enough, but the main our main duty is to, if we are educated, we must try to give this knowledge to someone else. Okay, like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, like Swami Vivekananda, if they would have said by getting their degrees, they would have said idle, we would not have known this much about the India's past, or this much about the society during that time. Okay, they have done a lot for the society because they were educated. They thought that it was their duty to educate the others and do something for the society. And this works, these activities done by them has a great impact in growing the national consciousness among the people of India. So we have completed the socio-religious movements, which was a great cause of the growing national consciousness during that time. So after this, we are going to study about the role of press. Press. What is press? What is the role of press? We will see this one in our next class. Thank you, students.